Oh, what's up, everyone? This is Aaron Nance with
Jeffrey Foster,
and we are Disturbing the Peace. Here we talk about critical issues related to urban education, related to marginalized and minoritized students within K-12 educational landscape.
Hey,
we are excited today.
Yes.
Why we're excited, Dr. Foster?
We are excited because, we are two optimistic people on fire, and we have almost made it to the end.
Almost to the end of the school year.
Yes.
All my teachers.
But not the school year, but
the year.
We halfway there through the school year.
And I was going with it. I'm like...
Well, us educators, we on different people's time, okay? We got our own timeline.
That's how much we go through. We count down towards the break. Okay?
Yes.
Hold on, what do Cardi do? Okay. Cardi. Hold on, let's see if I can do it again. Okay.
You got that thing down pat.
I got it down pat. I love something.
We so country.
But look, man, we here to talk about a recap of all the highs and the lows that occurred during this year 2023.
I know. So much has happened.
You know what I was just looking up? I was just curious because a lot of times I don't know when centuries start or end. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking the 20th century was from 1901 to 2000, to 2000. That's crazy, right?
I did not know that.
And now we're in the 21st century, which 2000 and whatever 20.
So the year 2000 started the 21st century?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And we as educators, we talk about 21st century instruction.
Right.
And I didn't even know that 21st century started when I was leaving elementary school. Y2K, remember the Y2K
movement?
Yeah, they said, the world's going to end in year 2000.
I remember, oh my God, I remember back in the day. Way back when.
Way back yonder.
Way back yonder. There was this scientist who came on CNN that basically said, oh my God, the world is going to end. Make sure you have all this water and toilet tissue. Make sure you go to the store. I went to Food Line. No, the shelf.
Yep.
Was it Food Line? No, it was Bilo at that time.
I remember
You remember Bilo?
Yes. That was my first job, y'all.
Hold up. Then I'm like, hold up. Why would you put a Bilo? You get a buy low in the hood. You get it? Like a buy low?
Yeah,
you buy low.
Yeah.
Low socioeconomic status.
Where there was a Bilo in the hood?
Yes.
Where?
On Tuck.
Who
like
knew?
Roger Ferry. Roger Ferry, Ashley Road? It was right there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Anyway, we got no topic.
I gotta say this though. Speaking of Y2K, remember technology was advancing and everything. And then it was technology's gonna take over the world. Yeah. Everything's gonna shut down. The internet's gonna shut down.
Ain't nothing happening.
No.
Ain't nothing happening.
we got 4G,
5G, LTE.
We got picture phones.
All that. I remember the first. I think my brother used to have now don't quote me if I get it wrong, but I think a Huyo or something. Type of phone that was a flip phone. But I remember the BlackBerry. The Blackberries came out and. Yeah, it's
the
crazy.
The
slide. The sidekick.
Sidekick.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I had my Motorola Razr phone.
Oh my God! Hey, the Motorola Razr was the first phone that I had that had a bass in my phone. And you remember back in the day, you leave your voicemail and it'll be like an artist or something.
Yeah, and then they had those ringback tones.
Oh man, those were the days.
Yeah,
the baggy jeans.
Oh yeah.
I found
Rough Riders. I had my Rough Riders jean jacket.
Yeah, man. The flight jackets.
Yeah.
With the do-rag and the toboggan and the hat on top.
The toboggan that had the little...
Oh, yeah, the little vitamin thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember playing outside with socks on my.
Oh yeah, in the snow. Because you want to make a snowman, but you don't have no...
You don't have no gloves?
No mittens, no gloves, or
no nothing. Like, shit, play with socks.
Yeah.
Man, them were the days.
You know what I was thinking? And this is a little off topic, but I'm scared that it's not ever going to snow again in Charlotte.
It will.
Because of
global warming?
Climate change and global warming.
I think so.
Okay.
I think it will.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's been a couple of years since we got snow, right? Like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
maybe?
nothing sticking on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, it's snow in Charlotte. Everything shut down. Like, God, leave. It's just snow.
Yeah.
It's just water and ice. Like, it's not that bad. It's going to dry up.
Yeah.
Just throw your car into, the 4th gear. You'll be fine. I promise you.
Well, you did live up north.
I did live in Nodak, North Dakota, for a little bit. So yeah, it was definitely interesting for sure.
Very cool. So,
yeah.
But going back to what we were originally talking about, just doing reflections over this year. Like, I can't believe this year has passed already.
I know it came and went, man. That's why we do not have as much time as we think we have.
Yeah.
So make sure that you spend time with loved ones, family, and friends. You never know when it's going to be our last day.
That's true.
We never know when our time on earth is up. Like, life does not have an expiration. Any given moment, it could be it. So make sure you take this time to spend with individuals, not just for the holidays either. When you're not doing anything, you got 5 or 10 minutes to spare. Yeah. Like, we're all are busy. Just don't take for granted the life that was given to us.
That's so true. And then, I'm really... God, the universe, the source, has placed something on my heart about grace. And I know I have been talking about grace a little bit, but I've been working on trying to give people more grace. Give somebody a little bit of grace. Don't let them take advantage of you, but just give them a little bit of grace. Use communication and talk things through. Don't hold grudges, because like you said, life is short.
It is. It is. And honestly, that's something I had to learn, not holding grudges, just being upfront about, different people, I treat them differently depending on the certain situation. Yeah, the circumstance in the situation. Not everybody deserves an explanation. Don't waste your breath. Don't waste your breath talking to a brick wall. It's not going anywhere, but spend your energy and efforts on those who you can tell that is going to be a meaningful and worthwhile relationship. Even if it doesn't work out, family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever your partner may be, if it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out. But make sure you invest that time, because like you said, I think everybody deserves just a little bit of grace. Yeah, but like you said, just don't take advantage of the situation. But let's recap Dr. Foster Summer. Let's start with, it's easy to talk about the highlights of 2023, but let's talk about some of your low points, because I know we have had conversations in the past, just you and I. So whatever you feel comfortable sharing, let's talk about it.
Okay, well, and then we'll talk about the high points.
Yeah.
Okay, so a low point.
Well, how about this? You do a low point, and I do a low point.
Okay. All right. Well, one low point for me this year was the fact that I did not know. I was fighting to keep this charter school that was underperforming alive, and it died. It needed to die. Now I know. I see. I understand. But that was a low point for me, because I like to fix things, and I was not able to fix that. And that was a very low point in my life this year. What about you?
Let's go a little bit deeper. Can you just talk about, and I know the answer. I just want you to, if you feel comfortable sharing with the people.
Yeah.
And before we continue, those of you who are on TikTok, our time is about to expire, but please continue to follow us, support us, subscribe, and we'll be back for the New Year's to wish you guys a happy New Year.
Yeah.
But until then, thanks for joining and watching Disturbing the Peace. Peach out TikTok.
Oh.
Alright, sorry about that, my Instagram folks. So yeah, I know because we have had conversations about your high points and low points, but well, let me be more specific. Who did that mostly affect?
Thank you for asking that. Because I'm the type of person, I don't think about myself. You know, us educators, we think about everybody else, all the other stakeholders, especially the children. And I didn't think about myself. Like, I wasn't focusing on, finding another position for myself or anything like that. I was fighting to the end. Everybody told me to leave.
Including me. And I was like, bro, get out.
And I said, I'm sinking with the ship. And I sunk. I sunk with the Titanic. And I don't regret it, but when you're in education and you're a school leader, it's not good for you to be the last leader, even if you're interim or whatever, to be the last leader when a school is not being renewed or a school is closing or something like that. And so basically I didn't give up. I said I'm going to continue to fight for these kids and these families. And the state decided not to renew the charter of the school. And, there were like news articles and things like that. And I feel like it affected, the way the state viewed me as a school leader. So I transitioned into higher education with the support of Aaron right here. And we did great things.
Before we get there, in light of just giving grace, you have to give yourself kudos. Dr. Foster here was able to achieve the higher scores for the school within the last couple of years, which was really good. So it wasn't the fact that the school was not performing. It was a financial state that the school was left in from previous leader, which is why the school shut. So the school didn't shut down because the students were low performing, which is obviously one of the reasons why a school was shut down. If you know anything about K-12 education, you know anything about charter and charter renewals, you have to operate within that charter. So if the charter says, hey, 50% of my students are going to pass, then more than 50% of your students need to pass. Because that also affects the overall grade of the school. And that affects, funding from the state, federal, local. So Dr. Foster here was able to do the unimaginable. So when you're speaking about that, I think you even have to give yourself grace.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So the main reason why the school closed is because, like Aaron said, Mr. Nett said, it was in financial insolvency for 8 of the 10 years. And it was a hot mess. There was a lot going on. And that in return affects everything. I had to lay people off. And when you lay people off, that's when it affects the school culture. And then you have certain people, they're not understanding. People are stretched thin. I was stretched thin because it was an independent charter school. So that being said, I was the superintendent, I was the CEO, and the principal at the same time. And I had to do, there's a lot of stuff that I had to do. And the teachers were stretched thin. The chief operations officer, he was stretched thin. It was a lot going on. But my first year, I was able to get the school to its highest academics since
the inception.
It began. And when that school began, it was very diverse, and it was mostly middle to upper class families. This school had 100% free lunch, and we were almost a C school. Now, I found out that the year after that, the scores dropped drastically, but that's because, I had to cut 40% of the staff, it seemed like. But yeah.
Everything has its, I'm not going to use the cliche that everything happens for a reason, but I feel like everything has its purpose. And I feel like, you have an end date, you have a start date and an end date. So now you're off to bigger and better things, right?
I am. Yeah. To God be the glory. And, okay, there we go. Yeah, to God be the glory. Because guess what? I am, the universe, the source, God, has a plan. I really believe that a purpose and a plan for everybody in their life, and it's not on your timing, unfortunately. It's on the source's time.
Right.
And so that situation that I was in, it prepared me for what's next.
Right.
I didn't think, I was down about myself. I said, there's not going to be a next. I was about to change my career. You know this. I was like, oh, maybe I should move into Salesforce or...
Dr. Foster led me to drink.
I would be a real estate agent, something, Jesus. I was like, what am I doing with my life? This is my time to figure it out. But I know my purpose, and my purpose is working with minoritized students. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I would say a low for me was definitely balancing out this year between working full-time and going to school full-time.
Ooh, yes.
That was definitely a very low point of mine. Mm-hmm. As you guys know, I'm in the same program, I'm in the same program that Dr. Foster was in, which is the Urban Ed concentration at the
University of North Carolina.
At the university.
One of the top urban education programs in the nation.
And so that was a low point for me. And not only that, and I can call this out, and you know, we are very honest with you guys about urban and urban education, and just being frank, I didn't feel supported by the people in my department. And the people in my department is supposed to look like me. So representation matters, and representation is key. As a matter of fact, research shows that if a black student has a black teacher by third grade, I believe, then they are 13% more likely to go to high school and graduate into college. So representation is important, it is key, and it matters. But we don't talk about how students should be represented.
Preach.
I'm going to let that sink. Representation is important, but we don't talk about how students should be represented. Just showing up is not representation.
No.
You got to put in the work. You got to put in the effort. You got to, as we used to say at our old school, get in the trenches.
Yes. Oh, see, you go.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to go there.
Crunk up.
I did not mean to go there, but it's so true. As I sit here and reflect, being black isn't enough.
It's not.
Being brown isn't enough. Being black and male isn't enough. Being Hispanic and Latino or Latina or Latinx or Chicano is not enough. You have to do more to change the trajectory of black students in education.
Hashtag.
I'm sorry.
No. This is my research area. Culturally responsive school leadership. Culturally responsive leadership. You have to have it. It's not a color.
It's not. But a lot of times that's how we look at it. We look at educated. Oh, I'm a black male educator. I'm making a difference.
You could be harming people.
Definitely. Definitely. And that's not the thing. That's something that we don't want to talk about. On one spectrum, me and Dr. Foster represent 1.3% of the black male teacher population.
Educators in North Carolina.
Or educators
in the country.
In the United States.
Yeah.
So according to anybody else, we are rare because we do not exist. We do not exist. But it's not enough if we're not showing up in these spaces and advocating for our black and brown students. It's not enough just to exist. You can be at a school and exist, but you're not making a difference. You know better than the Eurocentric ideologies
you better
that are
preach.
being pushed on us every single day.
You better preach.
See,
now I have a quick story to tell.
Oh,
you
man.
ready?
Hold on. I need to.
Hold on.
They ain't ready.
He put his foot in these drinks, Jesus. I'm telling y'all.
Hey, we talk about disturbing the peace.
Yep.
We disturbing the peace right now.
Yeah, we sure are, because I got something to tell. I got a story to tell.
Okay. Oh, that was a rap song too. I got a story to tell. Who
Yeah.
was it? Was it Nas?
I think so.
I got a story to tell?
One thing I used to do with my students is I say, because as a culturally responsive educator, I always have stories. I talk through stories. And I used to say, I got a story to tell. And the students would say, oh yeah? I say, I got a story to tell. They'll say,
oh yeah?
I got a story to tell.
Oh yeah?
So grab the microphone and say what's going on. And I'm going to tell y'all what's going on right now. What happened to me. I had a professor, an African-American female, call herself culturally responsive, part of her research. I told her, I said, the way your style is not working for me.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I told her, I said, I'm sorry, but do I need to drop the class? Can I get some support? Because this is how I learn. This is my learning style. This is my multiple intelligence. This is what works for me. And she said, I'm not changing nothing. That's not my style. This is how I teach. That's not cultural.
That's not culturally responsive pedagogical practices.
No.
But here's the thing that nobody want to talk about at these universities. Is that most of these professors just go get a degree based on research, not based on practicality.
Preach.
They have not experienced firsthand what it's like to work at an elementary school or even voluntarily even set foot in one. Mm-hmm. It's like we're looking at data and gathering data
in theories,
and then applying it to an environment you know nothing about. I'm gonna say something else. Say I'm on. Here's another thing. Anybody can read and do research. Anybody can read and do research, but all because you represent 1.3% of the population, you ain't it. You ain't it.
You ain't it, Miss Thang.
You ain't it, Miss Thang. You ain't it. What do the young folks say? Period. You ain't it. All right? You doing more harm than good with your Eurocentric European lookalike self.
But wearing Black Girl Magic t-shirts.
That part. Ooh. We cutting up. Talk about Black Lives Matter. You don't believe that. Like, let's just be real.
Your own life matters. That's all.
Yeah, you matter. That's all that is. Yeah. Anyway, so that's.
Well, you were talking about, your loans for the year.
Yeah, my bad. I got off top of y'all.
No, you got me fired up.
I'm fired up. It got me hot.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about representation. You don't even know what representation is. You're not even representative of what you're talking about.
That part.
Like, anyway.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What do you, besides creating a democracy? Is that the word?
Democracy?
No.
Oh, a democracy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word, right? Mm-hmm. Besides creating a democracy of the black culture and the black race.
A mockery.
Mockery, thank you. Yeah. A mockery of the black culture and the black race.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about it. I often say, say whenever we do our podcast, is that we are representative of our research.
Mm-hmm.
This is a living...
We practice what we preach.
We practice what we preach. This is a living, breathing exercise.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that we talk about, but also practice at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't talk about change if I'm not willing to go against the grain.
Yeah.
If I'm not willing to go against the grain, then I'm no better than anybody else.
That part.
I'm no better than Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Or Trump. Mm-hmm. At that point, it's just I'm just talking about it. Like there's no action behind my. I'm gonna shut up, y'all. Go ahead, Dr. Foster.
Be about it. No, I just want to say, like, even though you've had that low, I'm gonna tell y'all, working full time and going to school full time, a PhD full time, is one of the hardest things in the world. Even taking one class.
And you know what's harder? Mm-hmm. When you're not being supported by the people who look like you.
Mm-hmm. And you're being torn down. They have their egos and they're all about themselves. But been there, done that. I mean, yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
And, our program that we're in, there are a lot of supportive professors, and we're so blessed. And I can wholeheartedly say I am blessed to have the support that I had, but not everybody is that same way. And not everybody is for you.
Now, the school itself is a really great school. The chancellor is really great. You know, the programs there, and I just had an opportunity to connect with a wide range of people and individuals. And honestly, I was telling somebody this the other day. I don't think I would have gotten the opportunities that I had gotten if I wasn't a part of UNC Charlotte, and if I had not ventured out to different programs and different things at UNC Charlotte.
Yeah.
But as you said, not everybody experiences the same. Everybody experiences different things.
That's so true.
You know, but UNC Charlotte is a great campus. I highly recommend it to anybody who's looking for a graduate program or a graduate degree or even just undergraduate. Like, I had the opportunity to work with a professor for undergraduate, really great guy. It's really a really great school, but you have to get yourself out there to be able to have that experience. You know, it's just unfortunate that within my program I didn't have the experiences that I would have liked with my urban professors. You know, and I can say that as a professional student who's working as a divisional chair of education, there's just certain things I need in order to instill in my students so they can be successful, because they are a direct reflection of me and I am a direct reflection of my program. And that's the only thing that I'm saying. I'm not saying that they aren't good. I'm not saying that their research is invalid or anything of that nature. I just didn't feel supported as a PhD student in that program.
And you know something, I just wonder, are you supposed to, what is the cutoff? Like, how much do you support at that level, though? I don't know. You support by mentoring and advising and encouraging, right? That's what you're saying.
But again, like, what does that look like? Because mentoring and advising looks different from one student to the next.
That is true.
And not everybody gets equal treatment, which is not fair.
That is true. Yeah.
And no matter the school that you are in, and I'm talking about higher education, K-12 education, is all a political. It's very political. So you have to understand and learn the political game, the surrounding K-12 education and even higher education. You know, even at my school, it's very political, and I work in higher education with predominantly Black individuals.
Yeah.
So you have to really understand, like, how do you fit within the policies and procedures of the school. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say, it just brings me to a term that we studied in urban ed reform course that I took once upon a time: interest convergence. You got to find that interest convergence, and you have to play the game a little bit, and I don't like that.
You know what? You know what's funny about interest convergence? So Derek Bell, 1980, wrote a paper, Interest Convergence, the Brown versus Board of Education. You go look it up. It was published by Harvard University Press, like I said, around 1980, Derek Bell. And what's interesting about it is that interest convergence was meant to gauge the white audience. That's an interesting perspective. But now we're talking about interest convergence as not only related to white audiences, but Black as well. Make it make sense.
I don't get it, and that's why I don't like to play games. Like, I don't like politics. I don't like playing games. I have to sometimes. It gets me in trouble because I don't like to play the games.
But anyway, I'm sorry I got off topic a little bit. I got a little hot.
Yeah.
But that was one of my low moments. Is one, going to school full time and working full time, and professors not really understanding, like, me as an individual person, because I felt like most of them had not been teachers. And so that was one of my lows. Now, do you have another low you would like to talk about, or you want to mention, like, you want to go to something more positive?
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about our highs, because our low, I mean, we can go on tangents. Like,
that's true.
I feel like we could have a daily talk show and just talk all day long.
That's true.
Yeah. So I guess I can talk about a high.
All right.
There's so many highs, y'all. One high is that the biggest high of my life so far, y'all. I graduated with a PhD. That was a journey. It took me a while because I'd worked full time, and it was a journey because there were people. The program was a little political, and as all programs and things, but people were not thinking that I belonged. I felt like I had
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I had that imposter syndrome, and I didn't think that I was smart enough to finish the program or be in the program. And then people had their little cliques and things like that. There was a lot of highs and lows and hills and valleys and all of that. I almost quit a few times.
You better give your testimony. You better give your testimony.
Right as the morning sun, there is joy in the valley. Bright as the morning sun, joy in the valley. Bright as the morning sun.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Yes. But yeah, that was they say going through a doctoral program and a PhD program in particular is a marathon, and it surely was a marathon for me. And I made it through. And
I'm sorry, my bad.
No, it's true though. It's true. I made it through, and I want to tell y'all, everybody, people. I remember this one person. She said, "You ain't never gonna graduate because you only taking 1 or 2 classes per semester." Meanwhile, I'm working full time trying to save a school. And how about her and I graduated at the same time, and she was going to school full time. I graduated before some people who quit their jobs and went to school full time. So that's a big a testimony to an accomplishment that I made, and that was my biggest thing. Yeah.
Congratulations, Dr. Foster.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to know what your biggest high was. One of your biggest highs in 2023.
I mean, there were so many highs. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't know where to start. From, I'm a published author. You know, me and Dr. Foster set out about 2 years ago to write a book. We wrote a book.
We did.
And it was published in 2023, talking about urban educators from the hood. And we give a detailed account of our experiences. Mm-hmm. So please go check it out on Amazon.
Yes.
I published a couple of articles myself. I started a new job as a division chair of education, which only those jobs are given to those who have their doctoral degrees, and I don't have one. So that says a lot.
Big.
I attended my first international conference in Cancun last year. I know we talk about this year, but attended my first international conference where I presented 2 different papers. I was AERA, American Education Research Association reviewer for proposals.
Oh yes,
which was pretty huge. It's one of the biggest education conferences in the country, and I was chosen to be a reviewer, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
So I really can't put all my accomplishments into one, but if I had to think back on it, I'm just grateful that I made it.
Amen.
I'm still here.
Amen.
What does I made it through?
Another life's journey.
No matter the storms that may have come, I made it through.
Yep.
And that's I feel like that's the biggest accomplishment that I feel anybody could have. As a full-time, and I wasn't working for a year and a half, y'all. So I was going to full-time school for a year and a half. And I was fortunate to save the amount of money that I did to be able to cover that. And right as soon as my money ended, I got this job, and then so that happened. And then now I started this new phase of life where I had to, I guess, get acclimated to it because that's not what I was used to, And again, while there were some challenges along the way, I'm just glad that I'm still standing 10 feet down, 10 toes down.
You sure are.
And that's the biggest high for me.
Yeah.
It's no matter what come your way. I'm sorry, I might be preaching this time.
Go.
I might be preaching, but no matter what come your way, no matter storms that may come, some storms are meant to clear your path for you for the future. Can I say that again?
Amen. Say it again.
Some storms come to clear your path for what's meant and destined for you. So it's not a bad thing.
And who's leading the path? Are you leading your own path? The universe.
The universe is charting my steps as I go along. You know, and I'm here for it.
And you can't control it.
And I'm not in control.
You're not the author.
I'm just a passenger in the sea. I'm a passenger in a book that's going to be written.
I don't like being a passenger, but I had no choice. I like to control my destiny and where I'm going, but it don't work that way.
So that was probably a half for me. Yeah. And just really understanding and knowing. So I did a lot of self-reflection. I broke up with my girlfriend in about 2.5 years. And when that happened, it really led me down a downward spiral. But it was the first time I did therapy, which really helped. A black man doing therapy, that's what we need, y'all. Do some therapy. You know, you can't love anyone else until you love yourself wholeheartedly. You can't love your family. You can't love your children. You can't love your wife, your spouse, your partner. You cannot love anyone until you're fully able to love yourself and that you are healed. So whatever you have to do that for your loved ones, and it will help you on the long run. So I did therapy. That really helped me out a lot. This guy right here, he stayed a whole month with me. A whole month. Because your boy was going through it. I was in my PhD program. I was struggling.
He took one of the hardest classes in the program at that time.
Oh my God. It was tough. I made it though. But having people like Dr. Foster here by your side, who's there no matter what, definitely helps. So don't always look at things as a negative. One quote that I said yesterday is that it's a minor setback for a major comeback. You know,
Can you say that again?
It's a minor setback for a major comeback.
Write that down, y'all.
A minor setback for a major comeback. So if 2023 didn't present its best self to you, you know what? Chop it up, come back next year even stronger. What do you have to do now in order for you to be successful?
TD Jake says, get ready, get ready, get ready.
There you go.
So get ready for 2024.
There you go. Get ready for it. Whatever you have to, whether you do a vision board, whether you write down goals, whether it's saving money, whether it's losing weight, it shouldn't start at 2024. It should start now. It should start now. It takes 30 days to perform a habit. Look it up. It's research. It takes 30 days to form a habit. Start now. If your goal is to lose weight, wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, not 8 o'clock.
Time is now.
Time is now.
I tell Aaron, Mr. Nance, this all the time. I don't know if he believes me. He's the best trainer ever. One time, I used to do CrossFit. I did high intense interval training. I did a lot. And I went to a boot camp with him one time. I had my Apple Watch on. I burned 1,700 calories. And that was like within an hour or less.
He got mad at me, y'all.
You was like, come on, get up. You try to, I'm like, I don't want your head.
He like, get that.
He killed me, but it was so good. It was fun though. And so that's one of the many gifts that this guy has. He has so many gifts and talents. But yeah, he need to be working with celebrities.
That's funny. Well, if you need some training, let me know. I do have a website. It's called Focus Fitness. Yeah, it's Focus Fitness. You can Google me. But I do basketball training, but you can definitely reach out via email if you want personalized training. It's something I don't advertise anymore because I feel like not a lot of people are serious about it. But if you are serious and you want training, you are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and it's something you're passionate about, please, let's connect. Again, go to Focus Fitness, Google Focus Fitness, go to the website. My information is there. You can reach out then if that's something that you want to do.
I'm telling you.
But all right, so we talked about some highs and some lows for 2023. Let's talk about what are we looking forward to.
Ooh, I like that.
Because, you know, you have to have a beginning, end, and a solution.
There you go.
As a researcher. So what are we looking forward to for 2024? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I wanted to say, speaking of solutions, a lot of times we're not talking enough about solutions. So I love that. I got to figure that out. What do I want to focus on for 2024? Well, the biggest thing that I'm focusing on for 2020, there's so many though. I'm going to say one. One thing that I'm focusing on is getting my health together. Because I don't know if a lot of people don't know this, but I had got real sick. Stress kills, y'all. When I was trying to turn that school around, I had other things going on. My body shut down, and I had to have surgery. Long story short, I gained 75 pounds in less than a year. My body's still recuperating, and I'm trying to get back to my normal self. Being this guy right here used to wear the same size pants, like the same size clothes. That's crazy. But yeah, so that's something I'm really focusing on for the year. And I'm focusing on something else, but I want to talk about it right now. I'm going to talk about it at the top of the year.
Okay, that's fair.
What about you?
This year, I'm really focusing on just really building my brand. It's very important as an educator for people to know who you are. I have a mentor who said to me, he said, it's not enough to know who people are, but for them to know who you are as well. So I'm really, that's my biggest focus. I mean, of course, there's always subcategories to the category that I just mentioned. But that's the biggest thing for me is continue to build my brand, build my professional trajectory, who I am, what I aspire to be. Which I aspire to be a tenure track assistant professor at a university, and it's going to happen for sure. I'm already making moves and waves, and those moves and waves wasn't made last year. It was made maybe 2 years ago. So and it takes time to build certain connections and to build your network and to build your professional brand. But you have to start from somewhere.
You do.
You have to start from somewhere. So that's mainly what I'm looking forward to. And a lot of times we don't like to talk about it, but it's important. I come from a single family home, single mom, and my biological dad wasn't around as much, and he has limited education. I think he only has a high school, ninth grade education. He didn't even graduate. My mom, she graduated high school and did some college. So what you call a latchkey kid or child back in the day, and so. Finances wasn't really something that we spoke about. So now that I'm older and, I became more wise about finances, about credit and credit history and soft credit pulls or hard credit pulls and things of that nature, another my goal is to become financially free. And financially free for me means, being debt free. For the most part, and then being able to afford almost anything I want to afford. Yeah. So that's a outside of building my brand and becoming financially stable is very important for me. Yeah. For all my millennials out there, don't use your credit card. You're only supposed to use 30% of your credit card. If you use more than that, you're going to be penalized because of your interest rate or your APR rate. So I don't know if you know about this or not. But definitely do your research into it because you'll pay more money than less. That Mercedes that you want, if you don't have the good credit, they're going to give it to you. But your interest rate is going to be like 30% high, which you'll pay for the car 3 times over. If a car is $40,000, you'll pay $80,000.
Yeah, my mom never had a credit card. And now I understand why. I'm good with money. I'm frugal sometimes. I don't like being broke. But my credit card, I was like, how in the world do I owe all this money? Yeah, I don't like it. And I didn't even use my credit card like that. So you got to be very cautious.
You got to be cautious.
How you said that.
And then with credit card, so, you have good and bad. Well, you should know that you have good and bad credit. So credit card isn't all bad per se. It's just credit cards aren't bad per se. It's about monitoring what you spend on your credit card. And make sure you stay under that 30% if you can help it. Yeah. But anyway, those are my goals. Continue to build my professional brand. I'm thinking about redoing my website. If you want to check it out, Yeah,
Wow.
I literally just did it at the beginning of the year, so I'm thinking about redoing it again. Because another thing that I like to do is I like to look at different websites, and if I see a common trend, I'm like, okay, I need to. This is what I need to do. You know, one of our favorite authors is Benita Love. Benita Love, if you listening, you know your book is a beast.
Yeah,
you know you should definitely come to our podcast for sure. But Benita Love's book, and I looked at her website. You know, and it's just her website and everything that she's done. So I'm thinking about rebranding my website.
she's
and then,
well put together.
She's well put together, and then like I said, you know, financial freedom. So yeah.
That's good. You have a lot of goals. I feel like we're gonna have to have a part. We might have to have a little vision board party.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, we're gonna a men's vision board party.
Like it toast up,
Yeah.
pull up,
Yeah,
with some champagne, some Dom Perignon.
yeah.
It's not that expensive, actually. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
If we split it,
It all depends on what you consider expensive.
that is true.
I mean,
Because
but
everything is all about perspective.
that's it. Everything is all about perspective.
We're gonna have to do that, and then maybe we can go live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
y'all
with
can
that.
Our followers can participate.
Yeah, I'm with that. But yeah, so those are my goals, Dr. Foster. Do you have anything else you would like to add or say?
I feel like you said a lot of good goals. I feel like I should say another goal of mine. Another goal of mine is to see. I'm cautious right now because I'm about to do something really big, and I don't want to share it yet. But I'll just say this: my goal is to eradicate the school to prison pipeline and eradicate the opportunity gap for Black and brown children. So,
well, it was never an opportunity to begin with. See, all right, we not gonna go there. We not gonna go there.
There shouldn't have been.
We not gonna go there.
There shouldn't be a gap to begin with, and the opportunity's not there. But guess what? I'm gonna create something where there is an opportunity. Stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, on that note, this has been an exciting. We gonna take this, download it, and we gotta make this a podcast.
We have to, because this was so great.
This was so good, and this is one of the longer videos that we ever done. You know, and it's very natural and authentic. But I have nothing else to add. If I had a mic, I would drop it on Dr. Foster. Until next time, this has been a very entertaining, and interesting conversation with
Prospective,
Disturbing the Peace. Peace out, y'all. We wish you a wonderful and safe holiday break. We're gonna come to you again for New Year's.
Yeah. Something. Eve.
Something. We're
gonna do a vision, but we're gonna do it all.
We're gonna do something. We're gonna do something. Not something, but something. Something. All right, y'all. Be safe.
Peace.
Peace.
Treat yourself.